Please subscribe my channel. I stepped into the party expecting it to be just another evening, another duty, another fake smile next to a marriage that had been slowly falling apart. The music was blasting, the lights were dim, the sort of place where everyone acted like joy came easily. I looked around the room, already feeling worn out and detached. Then I spotted her. My wife was standing near the middle, laughing way too openly, leaning in toward a man she had no business getting close to. Her smile wasn't ordinary. It was warm and personal, the kind I hadn't seen aimed at me in ages. Everything seemed to slow down. The room faded into the background. I told myself not to assume the worst, not to let paranoia take over. But gut feelings are harsh. They know what's real before your brain wants to admit it. She didn't notice me right away. And in that instant, seeing her so relaxed and natural, I understood something heartbreaking. This wasn't the first time. It was just the first time I was truly facing it. I edged closer without being seen, staying far enough back to watch without breaking the moment. The guy she was talking to leaned in and said something that made her laugh again, soft, natural, without any shame. Her hand touched his arm and stayed there. It was a tiny gesture, easy to miss, but it crushed me. My chest felt tight, not from rage, but from a strange sense of peace. This wasn't surprise anymore. This was proof. Right then, an older man with sharp eyes stepped up beside me, holding a drink he hadn't sipped. Without glancing my way, he spoke softly, as if he already understood the hurt. "Don't spend your life on her," he murmured. I turned, caught off guard, but he looked straight at me with confidence, not pity. "I've worn that same expression," he continued, "on my own face, on other guys who waited too long." Then he slipped back into the crowd, leaving those words behind like a heavy truth. I stood there, unable to move, turning his advice over in my mind while the party kept going loud around me. Don't spend your life on her. It wasn't mean or bitter. It was straightforward. I looked at my wife again, noticing how comfortable she seemed, how little she worried about who might see. Finally, she spotted me. Our eyes locked. For a brief moment, something crossed her face, maybe shock, maybe guilt, but it disappeared fast. She gave me the same smile she'd just given him. And that's when it really sank in. I wasn't special to her anymore. I was just handy, known, easy to swap out. Something inside me let go. A connection I'd been holding on to from routine, not real love. I saw that I'd arrived at a turning point without realizing it. One road led back to pretending and gradual breakdown. The other led to the unknown, with fear but also freedom. I knew right away which one would hurt more if I didn't pick it now. I didn't confront her. I didn't break up their conversation. I didn't ask for answers. Instead, I reached into my pocket, took off my wedding ring, and rolled it between my fingers. The band felt heavier than ever. I walked calmly to the host table, asked politely for the microphone, and waited while the music died down. The room grew quiet, everyone curious. My wife looked puzzled, maybe irritated, like I was about to make her look bad. I took a deep breath, not to calm myself, but to close a chapter. I simply wanted to thank everybody for a great evening, I said steadily. And to share this. Sometimes you enter a room thinking it's an ordinary night, and you leave knowing your life has to shift. I set the ring down on the table. No names mentioned, no blame thrown, just the plain truth floating there. Then I stepped away, turned, and headed out. Behind me, everything exploded. People talked over each other. Chairs moved suddenly. Someone said my name once, then shouted it. I kept walking. I stepped into the fresh night air, my heart racing, but my thoughts clearer than they'd been in years. My phone started buzzing right away, texts, missed calls, confusion turning to panic in real time. I ignored them. That simple, quiet choice to leave without a fight struck harder than any argument ever could. I drove around with no destination for a bit, then stopped on the side of the road, chuckling quietly in amazement. Not from happiness, but from relief. I saw how much effort I'd poured into fixing something already shattered. Walking away didn't make me weak. It made me truthful. And once you pick truth, there's no going back. That night, I didn't lose a marriage. I took back control of my life. The days after were filled with quiet. Friends checked in. Rumors spread. My wife tried it all: anger, crying, sorries, changing the story. She claimed it wasn't what it seemed. I didn't debate her. I no longer needed her version. I already knew mine. I moved out fast and smoothly without any fuss. Every box I packed felt easier than the one before. The stranger's advice stayed with me, not as a source of sadness, but as comfort. Don't spend your life. I began rebuilding in little steps, new habits, long strolls, mornings without worry. The hurt showed up, sure, but it faded cleanly, without the poison of fake hopes. I wasn't trying to get her back. I wasn't trying to hurt her. I was just going ahead. Months later, I sometimes recall that evening, not with anger but with thanks. If I hadn't gone to that party, if I hadn't caught that smile, if a stranger hadn't shared one straightforward line, I might still be making myself smaller to fit a life that didn't want me anymore. That decision to walk away without pleading, without yelling, without lingering changed it all. I learned that big changes don't always come with noise. Sometimes they come quietly from someone nearby who gains nothing from being honest. I didn't shock others by leaving. I shocked myself by finally putting my own worth above comfort. My life didn't stop that night. It began. And I've never regretted the instant I chose not to waste one more moment on someone who had already moved on from me.